Bob Dylan sounds a lot like Tom Petty.
I would flip that phrasing, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can't make me. I'm learning to fly. Okay, I'm done mocking British people. Fuck the Beatles. Okay, now I'm done mocking British people.
God. Talking about getting canceled. You say that in the wrong circle. I think a good cover song is transformative from the original. Like, no one wants to hear a punk band's cover of a punk song. Like, most people in that case are going to prefer to listen to the original. Or like Machine Gun Kelly, he did Misery Business and a bunch of other covers, and they were really, really bad. Because again, like most people who want to listen to Misery Business want to hear the Paramore version. They don't want to hear Machine Gun Kelly's really bad attempt at that. So I feel like a good cover song is transformative from the original. Still got to have a little bit of the original in there, like taking a song and then like completely rewriting it, but like keeping the words the same. Like, yeah, no one's really going to want to hear that either. It's got to have a little bit of the original mixed in there, but like 95% of your sound.
That's why pop songs they're always my go-to. It's a really easy template to follow and to bastardize. Like it can be formed into so many different sounds and tones. You can even keep the same instrumentation almost. But yeah, an industrial band doing a Nine Inch Nails cover, it's not quite it. Like a punk band doing a Bad Brains cover, not quite it.
Yeah, I will say, I feel like even within the genre, so I don't think genre is like the be-all and end-all of sonic palettes. Industrial means a lot of things.
Yeah, and like me and Blake had a whole conversation about this the other day, but like with Feelings Like Fire, you know, we wear a lot of our influences on our sleeves. You know, some of our biggest influences are like Pierce the Veil and Sleeping with Sirens. You'll never catch us covering one of those songs, at least not in like the standard like rock format, because I think it would be like cutting it too close to the original, and I don't think that there's any way that we could transform it into something authentic. But like Zach was saying, like pop songs naturally have like a really good template to be covered, because pop songs in and of themselves already have like really good structures, and it gives you a whole lot of like leeway to add your own personality into the song.
Not to like discredit pop songs because they're emotional, but I'm going to discredit pop songs. There's a lack of emotion behind it in certain situations, so it feels like a blank canvas. So if like you're singing a really emotional song that somebody else wrote, it's like covering a rap song. Like that's the person's soul on the record. Like it just doesn't quite work. There are some songs where you can do that, like hip hop ones that you can cover, but it's that fine line of taking someone else's soul if you're going to go in that route other than pop. And again, the classic that I'm sure people are already thinking about is Hurt by Johnny Cash.
Yep.
It's recontextualizing this deep emotion, and it's taking the same words and applying it to a different situation. And that's what can like really get the people going.
Yeah, the importance of being able to recontextualize the delivery, the lyrics. If you can find something that you can perform that will change the meaning of the song now that you're doing it. I mean, this is kind of why I like covering songs where the original vocalist is a different gender. It changes the dynamics.
Paparazzi.
Paparazzi,
It's
yeah.
way scarier.
Yep.
I was also going to speak to pop music as ideal for cover songs because, like you sort of hinted at, pop music is mostly already covers. It tends to be written by a songwriter who is not the singer. A lot of the time, songwriters will write a song that is a sort of blank slate, and they will workshop with different singers, different arrangers. And so pop songs are written with a variety of ways to bring it to life in mind. I mean, a lot of the classic pop songs from the 20th century are not even the first version that was recorded.
Are you telling me JoJo Siwa didn't write Karma? Should've known better.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of thinking about it, of like most pop songs are in a way like cover songs, because I mean, it really is true. Like, I've been going kind of deep down the songwriter rabbit hole, and it's been very interesting seeing that like the same 5 people have been in charge of like writing most of the pop music of the last like 30 years. It's like really interesting how like this person will write a song, like Benny Blanco will write a song, and then he'll workshop it with a bunch of different people, and then it'll not change until he gets to like Adam Levine, and he's like, oh yeah, this guy kind of brings something to the song that it was lacking beforehand.
The discourse around this is kind of lame because people have no sense of scale, but this is the default state of music. The fact that we are talking about cover songs to start with is very strange. It's not natural to music for the idea of like ownership, authorship, and performance to be intertwined like this.
All classical pieces, different orchestras do still now different orchestras do it slightly better, slightly worse, slightly different.
Describing a classical piece as a cover song is kind of absurd.
Yo, listen to this Mozart track. Mozart's not on a single element of it. Like, or even jazz. It's performed by various different jazz members, even though the person's still alive.
Folk music, there's no cover of Old Joe Clark because there's no original. It's collectively created.
I mean, I forget Foggy Mountain Breakdown was written by one of the recently deceased people. I'm not going to just throw out Earl Scruggs because he was just the first name that came to mind.
Yep, Earl Scruggs.
Oh, hell yeah, I'm a banjist, motherfuckers.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so like that's a case of if you're going to say, I'm going to go play Foggy Mountain Breakdown, you're not going to say, I'm going to play a cover of Earl Scruggs' Foggy Mountain Breakdown. You're just going to say what the song is because it's just written. It's just a piece of music out there floating.
Cultural reasons, not too crazy important. There's the revival of Romanticism in the late 60s. This is also the era where a lot of people who had been songwriters for pop artists started releasing their own music without selling it to other artists and were able to get popular because sentiment started changing. There was a construct of authenticity emerging at this time so that you could sing a song and sound bad singing that song and have bare minimal instrumentation, and people would see the value in you having written and performed the work. That was a new kind of value that had not been there in pop music before.
Well, because you could see the value. There were photography, videography, getting more predominant, recordings, all that everything.
And then, like, flashing forward, I feel like the visual aspect also ended up taking a lot of that authenticity from music in, like, the later half of the 20th century and in, like, the 21st century. Like, I think there was definitely, like, in the early days when photography and video had just become popular with music, where people were wanting to see the person who wrote the song and performed the song. And then I think like in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, people, they wanted like a good looking person to be the performer.
They wanted to see the person who wrote the song. They're like, wait, no, I don't want to see that person. Show me a different person while I listen.
We don't want to see Bob Dylan.
No one wants to see Bob Dylan. And I wrote this next song. My one advice, which I love when people do, is playing covers of songs that people don't remember they know. People really like to get surprised of not just the, oh yeah, I know this song, with a, oh wait, I know this song. That kind of like surprise. What about some classics? Give me that like radio top 20 through 10 position of any area, not that top 10 position.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on there.
I like the idea of paying attention to the type of value that the cover brings to your audience.
My last thing was just going to be, and this is just a personal thing, I don't like the idea of covering, if like I'm going in to choose a song to cover, if I've heard somebody cover it before, other than just going on YouTube and looking up cover of this specific song, if I've heard somebody cover it before that's just come across my radar, I stay clear of it. I don't want to say used goods, but like it's already a thing that people are like have in their minds of a thing to cover. You want to hit them unexpected.
Yeah.
If other people are already like thinking about this, it's at least personally for me better to stay clear than to be like, oh, they covered it. That's a good idea. I should cover this.
Yeah, like there's a lot of examples of like one song being covered by multiple different artists, especially like artists within like a similar genre of music. And it's like no one's going to care about your cover of that as opposed to if you were to pick a different song that's not been covered.
There's a whole nother phenomenon of kairotic moments with cover songs where it's just the right time, the right moments. And so the Jeff Buckley cover of Hallelujah, it revitalized that song because he was able to perform it honestly the way it should have been performed. Leonard Cohen was going through his weird synth pop phase, beautiful arrangements with the whole backing chorus, but not nearly as impactful as Buckley's version. Similar thing with Johnny Cash Hurt. He not just played the song in a way that expressed something new, but he was able to make the original song better by showing people what it had inside it all along.
Well, and as Trent Reznor said, he was skeptical because he's like, that's my song. That's a very personal thing to me. And then he heard Johnny Cash's version. He's like, no, it's Johnny's song now. Like, that's his song. And yeah, it's just a very nice progression of taking one idea and passing it down to the next person while maintaining like its integrity. Just like very minor chord changes. Not minor chord change, but
minimal.
Like very subtle chord changes.
Changing the diminished chord to a minor chord, it made it more accessible. I will say the one reason I do like the original slightly more is because that diminished chord does something to me.
Damage. It does damage to you. Also, right moment, right time. Any artists, start releasing your tracks and your covers because new Shrek movie's coming out, and that's going to be your big break.